And I'm going to start with you, Mr. Weaver. You know the NRC's budget very well. And the NRC, in testimonies in front of this committee, has had a long record of misallocating their budget resources. And I have frequently expressed my frustrations with that, the development, management, and execution process. This has resulted in excessive fees paid by the nuclear industry and delays in the agency's core licensing duties. During your time for then NRC Chair Klein, you had first-hand experience with the budget process, as I mentioned earlier. So based on your experience, what are the most important steps that the NRC could take to improve how the budget is developed, managed, and executed?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I have to say the NRC budget has vexed me, both when I worked there and as a member of industry trying to get clarity on some things. So I think one of the first things is when the commissioners vote on the budget, that may be their biggest policy decision they make because it's setting priorities for an entire year. And I found it, when I was working for Chairman Klein, difficult to advise him because of the lack of clarity in the information was provided even to the commission. So as I think of, and I've had a lot of chance to think about that since, and maybe it's easiest to describe just an example. The NRC, as you know, collects most of its budget through fees, hourly fees as well as annual fees. Looked at holistically, about 25% of the budget comes from, the fee recoverable budget comes from hourly fees. And I think the staff has done a pretty good job being accountable for those because those get billed to licensees and they can see their bills and you might like it or not like it, but it's clear. I think the opportunity in budgeting is in that 75% that's covered by annual fees. There's a lot less clarity about the staff's plans on what they intend to accomplish with that 75%. And as you indicated in your question, that can lead to higher annual fees. The other downside of that is the staff sometimes starts efforts that kind of snowball, spend a lot of resources, a lot of their time, spend a lot of industry time on something that ultimately doesn't have a safety benefit. So my solution would be increased transparency during budget formulation inside the NRC, and when we're in budget execution to have external transparency. What did we say we were gonna do? Did we do it? And just march down. And I think if we provide the commission with that sort of clarity, the commission then can decide, no, hey, licensing is my biggest priority right now. I see this lower priority item, I'm gonna move some resource over there. So that's a short version, Senator, but.
Thank you, thank you. You obviously know the process well, and I think transparency is always a great key. It's harder to achieve than sometimes it sounds like. So, Mr. Beaman, TVA is one of the leaders in American nuclear, producing nearly 40% of its generation from nuclear power. TVA holds the early site permit from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to build a small modular nuclear reactor, or an SMR, at its Clinch River site. This would be the first SMR at a utility in the United States. What role do you see for nuclear energy, including advanced nuclear reactors, in TVA's power generation portfolio? I think you need to turn your mic on. Yeah.
Thank you. I think nuclear power generation is the main future of power in the United States and probably around the world. And I think that TVA can lead the way as a template for the rest of the country on how we aggressively achieve that through clean nuclear power.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Weaver, there has been an exodus of senior leadership. I think ranking member talked about this, of positions that are critically important to the NRC. The chairman selects with the approval of the commission certain designated senior agency leaders. Would you please describe the key attributes and qualifications that you would prioritize as you're considering individuals for senior leadership positions?
Yes, Senator, thank you for that question. I think number one, we need leaders who are going to motivate and inspire. The staff, I think, is feeling pretty low right now due to the workload and the number of exits. So I think number one is we need leadership to inspire and motivate. The leaders also must be committed to making independent regulatory decisions. That's a non-negotiable. Two other must-haves: they must be technically competent, they must understand the regulatory framework, I'm calling that all one. And then finally, I would say they need to be committed to implementing the ADVANCE Act as well as the Executive Order 1.
Advance Act, they've been sort of pirated away to private industry to help them fulfill the SMRs and the dream of the next technologies. So we will try to help work with you and the commission to try to get the best highly qualified leaders in senior positions.